What kind of person would you like to see run for council next year?
I would like to see sensible people who will actually listen to what the public want.
I'd like to see someone who's not racist.
I'd like to see an honest person that understands the needs of the community.
A young person with some fresh ideas.
Someone that's done the mahi, someone that's been out and about and dealt with public.
Next year's local body elections will look slightly different to previous ones under a new representation arrangement currently being worked on at Tauranga City Council.
Previously we had 10 councillors plus a mayor, and those 10 councillors were elected for at large, and at large means by everybody in the community that votes. And then we had 6 councillors elected in 3 different wards, so 2 in each ward. So, and the mayor is elected at large by everybody. So the new system that's been proposed is for us to have 9 councillors plus a mayor, and the 9 councillors, 8 are selected from 8 general wards, so 1 councillor in each of those general wards, and 1 Māori councillor, which is elected by the Māori, people who are on the Māori electoral roll across the city. So that is a reduction of 1 councillor and a different way of electing the councillors than previously.
It's hoped the changes will avoid a repeat of what happened with the last council.
So let's face it, Tauranga's in a crisis of its democratic processes at the moment. That's why we've got commissioners in here, and we've done that quite deliberately to try and avoid some of the disturbance that we had in council last time. The review and observation team said they felt that mixture of some at large who'd also run for mayor meant that the mayor didn't have a clear mandate, and that some of those were continuing on their mayoral campaigns. So we've gone away from that quite deliberately. Whether this is the process, the model for the rest, for many years to come, we're not promising that, but we're saying at this point in time, we think it's really important that there's strong leadership, that the mayor has a very clear mandate, and that no one part of town has a majority of the council, if you like.
And what do you sort of make to the views out there that, the last thing this city needs is the same people being elected, carrying on the same business that they carried on before? Is that likely to happen, or does this new system prevent that?
Well, it doesn't stop any individual from standing. I think it would be disappointing if we saw a return to democracy and same old, same old. And those people have to take responsibility for their actions. It's very clear that the previous couple of councils didn't make the decisions that they needed to make. Wherever I am, I'm encouraging people to think about, this is a multi-billion-dollar business. Think about who you vote in to manage that. Who do you trust to take control of your city? And think about who needs to stand. And I sort of paraphrased John Kennedy, ask not what Tauranga's going to do for you, but what can you do for Tauranga? And it needs strong leadership, it needs sensible leadership that manages the growth that's simply overtaken the city.
Despite council asking the community for its views on representation, the response was lacklustre.
So really disappointing, actually, the participation in the process. A lot of people looked at the website and had a look at what we were proposing, but in the end we only had 100 or so submissions, and then we had just 14 or 15 people turn up to actually talk to us about it. And when you look at the demographics of those people, mainly older, by far the vast majority were over 50, and they're good voters. They already take part in the democratic system. What we're really wanting is, for younger people, for younger family people, and particularly young people having their first time voting, what do they think? Would it be nice to get much more from them? So you've always got to balance that. It's not a numbers game. You can't just rely on submissions. You've got to, as a politician, you've got to be out talking to people all the time, and you've got to take notice of a wide variety of views.
Saturday, October the 8th, 2022 has been set as election day, and candidates will need to put their hats in the ring by mid-July.
The results are usually about 5 or 6 days after the elections. We have to count the special votes in, and then we have to give them notice of it's their first meeting, and it's usually around sort of the end of October sometime. So that date can be a bit flexible depending on when the actual results come out. So yeah, definitely before the end of October.
But there's one final hurdle to jump before this is all set in stone.
So we go through an appeals and objections period, and that closes on the 13th of December. And after that, those appeals and objections get heard by the Local Government Commission, and they make the final determination after they've considered those appeals and objections.
All going well, residents should know what the new representation arrangements will look like by mid-April. Gavin Ogden, Local Focus.